Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today it is going to be another rebuild, and it is going to be with Boavista, a recommendation from a viewer, obviously a team in the Portuguese division. If you guys do enjoy these rebuilds, then please do leave a like on this one, and please do subscribe to the channel for more rebuild content. But let's get into this and see how we do within 5 seasons. So, when you take on the challenge at Boavista, it is a challenge. We will call it a challenge because they are predicted to finish 11th and the finances are absolutely in the mud. You're actually given £0 to spend in the first season, and the wage budget is quite worrying as well. And in terms of squad players, a few of the first team players are actually loanees who will probably not be joining permanently afterwards because of their wage demands. Now, let's have a little look then. So we've literally got £0 to spend. So there isn't going to be a first season transfer window because I did try and ask for more. I tried to do this, I tried to do that. But the way that this squad is, it's actually better for me to work with the players that we have here. As you can see, we have got some good players here. There's a couple that I would actually like to keep that are loans, especially this player here. But obviously, we probably won't be able to afford to do so. But we have got decent players. We've obviously got Perez. I'm a great DM there. We've got Cannon, one of their hot prospects coming up. Makota. We have got good players in the team. And to be honest, it's more beneficial for me to make sure that we extend their contracts, keep them at the club, and focus on that in the first season. So there's not going to be a first season transfer window, not because I don't want there to be, more because we literally can't afford to bring anyone in, including bringing in loan players. So, going into what is going to be the first season, this is going to be the lineup. We are going to be using RDF's 4-3-3 Perfecto formation and tactic, one of my favourites. So, shout out to him, one of the best tactic makers in the game, if not the best. Fantastic tactic maker, and this is one of my favourites. I do love a 4-3-3. So, we're going to be talking. We've got Caesar in goal, Cannon, Sasso, Awayzime, I think you say that, Mangas, Perez, Kamara, Maguta, Agra, Lorenzo, and Penaranda. Believe that's how you say that. Do apologise if I have butchered it. But it's not a bad team on paper. Do I think we're going to get anywhere near the top? No. Obviously, that can happen because the end of the day, they're not bad players in terms of the ability on some of them. But I just don't feel like we're quite there in terms of going from 11th to winning it in the first season. But at the end of the day, it is a holiday simulation. Anything is possible. But even if we get inside of the top 4, obviously I'm going to try and bring in more and more players because this squad, there are quite a few older players. So it is about rebuilding the squad as well as winning trophies. So let's get into the first season and see how we done. Now, I said to you guys I weren't expecting to win, and I honestly, I swear on my life I wasn't. But we actually managed to win this league here on head-to-head games against Benfica. Obviously, winning the head-to-heads, they did have better goal difference, but we also managed to win the Allianz Cup against Porto. So, winning 2 trophies in the first season, scoring 76, ranking us to 3rd best. We were, however, very solid at the back, only conceding 23. So, very, very good in terms of conceding goals. Hardly any actually hitting the back of the net against us. In terms of player stats, then, we're going to have 22 coming in from Salvador Agra. We've got Makuta coming in with 17 again. 13 coming in for Lorenzo. 11 coming in there for Penaranda. I'm going to take so long to say that name. I know I am. In terms of assists, we've got 16 for Agra. Makuta coming in with 11. 12 for Cannon. 6 coming in for Mangas. 6 coming in what is going to be for Lorenzo. 7 coming in for Kamara. 7 coming in for Penaranda. So to be honest, quite a few different assisters and goal scorers, which is exactly what we want to be seeing. But it's not enough. We do need to strengthen this team. And obviously, I know we've just won the title, but this team is nowhere near ready to do this consistently, I don't think, without strengthening some positions. Now, if I can get away with it, one thing I really want to do is obviously try and sell as few players as I physically need to, because the players they have at the club are actually quite good. Obviously, some of them are older. You've got like a 30-year-old here. I'm 31, even 28, 31, 29. So there are some players we're going to have to get ready to sort of replace in the upcoming years. But to be honest, the squad's not actually too bad. And luckily, going into this next season, we have been given a little bit of a better budget in the second transfer window, which is going to be basically 7.6 million to spend into this transfer window. So I'm going to come back to you guys once we're into season 2 of the transfers, and hopefully we've got some new faces in the team. And that is what we done, guys. We spent wisely. We actually spent 9 million because obviously you can do a little bit of an installments, but we kept it pretty much to what we did have. To start with, from Braga, and that is going to be the B side, I believe. It is going to be Jean-Baptiste Gorby for 5 million after the add-ons. We've got Ristich coming in from Benfica for £800,000 and Luis Junior, the goalkeeper, coming in for 3.5 million. Now, the first sign in this guy here, I'm really excited to use this guy. Never heard of him before. 19 years old, fantastic potential, very good attributes as a base sort of stat line, base sort of player, and he's only 19 years old. Can play tons of positions in the midfield, and a player which obviously is going to be with us for the entire duration of this save. And I think for that price tag, it's an absolute steal. Going over to Ristich, he is going to be, if not the starter, backup left back. Again, a very, very good player. Slightly more older, got a bit of experience behind him, but his attributes are reasonably good. You're not going to come out and sign people that are absolutely world class with the budget that we've got. And obviously attracting players to this club as well is quite challenging because of the league that we're in. And obviously a lot of players do want to be playing at the highest level of football. But still a very good left back and someone who I think, to be fair to him, can get into that team. And this guy here is by far probably the best signing, in my opinion. A fantastic goalkeeper, 6'4", only 21 years of age, great potential, and already will get right into the first team. So with this guy, you are really getting the full package. You're getting a goalkeeper that is ready to play now, but can also grow, and is going to continue to grow for seasons and seasons beyond you can even believe. And this is what the team is now going to look like then. So a little bit different. We're going to have Junior in goal, Cannon, Sasso, Awayzime, Ristich, Perez, Makota, Gorby, Lorenko, Agra, and also Penaranda. So very similar when it goes up the pitch, but a few changes in the midfield, couple or a change in the midfield, and also the goalkeeper position, and also Ristich coming in. So 3 signings instantly working their way in to that first team. And now the only thing we can do is get into season 2 and hopefully carry on winning, because hopefully now we've got a few more faces in, we can take the other competitions even more seriously. So, second season has come around, and again, we have managed to win the title, but it is literally on the edge. We've won this one on goal difference against Benfica, and to be honest, it is a very, very tight competition. Obviously, winning the league, we also did win the Super Tacker, but unfortunately, not very good at all in European competitions. Not actually getting out of the groups in the Champions League, but then we do go to the second knockout and we get knocked out against Monaco. Obviously, probably not got the team just yet to actually be competing consistently and to a high standard in these divisions. So something that is the main thing that we do need to focus on and improve. But to be honest, in 5 seasons, we're going to do well to even get to a final of the European competition, because this squad is good, but you need to have an elite squad to do that and get there, and this just isn't it at the moment. Scoring 73 goals, ranking us the second best, and conceding 27, ranking us the second best as well. So we're very lucky to actually win, and it was literally by a goal that we won on goal difference. So huge shout out for that. Going in terms of stats then, so you're going to have 15 goals coming in from Agra. You've got Ristich coming in with 9, 16 coming in for Makota. You're going to have 5 coming in for Sasso, Gorby with 5 as well, 23 coming in for Penaranda. You've got 4 coming in for Mangas, Lorenko coming in with 3, 7 coming in for Abascal there, and 7 coming in for the J. And in terms of assists, we've got 23 coming from Agra. Ristich, the new left back, coming in with 8, 6 assists coming in for Makota, Cannon with 4, couple of assists there, 5 for Gorby, Penaranda coming in with 4, 10 coming in from Mangas, Lorenko coming in with 13. Some high stats coming in there. And again, we're seeing a very familiar pattern that these players are all chipping in. And that's exactly what you want to be seeing, because there's nothing worse, as I always say in my tactics and my rebuilds. You don't want to be relying on one sole player that does absolutely everything. And going into what is actually going to end up being the third transfer window, we've been given a little bit of a restricted budget. We've been given 3.3 million after I did let a player go. And the wage budget, again, is still quite poor. So it's going to be difficult to bring in any big names, but I'm just hoping we can bring in a player. If we can't, we're going to have to run with the same squad, which I really don't want to do. And unfortunately, guys, that is going to be what happened. We couldn't sign anyone, the players that I want, as I don't want to bring in players purely for the sake of things that have not got a future at the club. But what I will say is this guy here is someone who we did actually promote. He was actually playing in the under 9s or the under 20s, as you can see there. Playing last season, non-competitive games though, but his attributes look really good. Very good potential on him as well. Obviously pretty much can play on the wing, but prefers playing up front. And to be honest, he's just a player which we need depth in the team. This guy cost me nothing to have him because we already had him, just playing at a lower, obviously in the under 20s level. But I feel like this guy is ready to come up. Obviously at the moment, slightly on the down in terms of attributes, but I do think that we can turn this guy into a decent player, and it just adds to the options we've got up front. And this is going to be the team then, so I'm not going to talk too much about it because it is basically the same team. In fact, I believe it is the same team, just with these two flipped around. So no signings again, unfortunately, and this is the only issue with doing rebuilds with clubs which don't really have any sort of financial background going on, because even if you win the division, you don't really see any money coming in. So you do miss out on having them really tasty transfer windows. But at the end of the day, still a very, very fun project we're doing here. And now we're going to go into the third season and see how we do. Before we do actually get into the third season though, guys, please do leave a like on this video and definitely do consider subscribing to the YouTube channel and turning on notifications, loads of ons, because there's tons of content including rebuilds, tactics, experiments, let's plays, so much more coming out. And also next Football Manager, the content is going to be even better. We're going to have loads of live streams, loads of stuff going on. So be sure to hit that sub button right now. Now, third season then, and we have actually managed to win the division, this time by points, not by head-to-head, and not by goal difference. And that is impressive. Again, struggling in the Champions League, but a little bit of an improvement because we did get out of the groups to get knocked out by Real Madrid, which is a very, very, very tough ask. Runners up in the Tacker, which is a bit disappointing. Lost in the Super Tacker again. Disappointing. A potential to win a treble here and finish second in the group. So very poor display in the Allianz Cup. The one thing I'm worried about here is not the goals. We're scoring goals. 78 goals is fine, but we seem to be letting in a lot of goals now. If you go back to, obviously, if you rewind back to the second season, I think we were second best at conceding. We've now dropped to fifth, and there are a lot more goals sort of going in. And I am debating, hopefully we can get a transfer budget and actually start to sign some players, because I want to strengthen that back line up quite a lot. Bring in some young centre-backs, just, you know, really give them a bit of energy. But going over to the stats then, we're going to have 27 assists and 14 goals for Agra, 6 assists and 28 goals for Makota, Ristic with 8 assists and 11 goals, fantastic for a fullback, 2 assists and 11 goals for Azaim, Cannon coming in with 10 assists, you're going to have 5 assists and 15 goals coming in for Mangas, 2 assists and 9 goals coming in from the J, Sasso coming in with 2 assists and 3 goals. Again, very good stats there. 5 assists coming in from Malhero. We've got 8 assists and 6 goals coming in for Lorenko. Fantastic player. And we've got Perez from CDM with 10 assists and also 4 goals. So very, very... Oh, is this guy? Penaranda, forgot to mention him. 5 assists and 13 goals. So still very impressive stats, as I keep saying. We're not really going to have a striker, I don't think, for some time that is going to be scoring sort of 40 goals, because we don't have them caliber of players. And unfortunately, we're not seen to be getting loads of transfer budget, but hopefully this time around we do get a little bit to spend. And that is what we did. We do have a little bit to spend. We have 9.8 million, so close to the £10 million mark going into what is going to be the 4th transfer window. And I really hope with this money, I'm going to stretch it, guys. I am going to stretch it. I'm going to try and use installments. I want to try and get a centre-back, possibly a midfielder if I can, and possibly an attacker. So we're trying to get 3 players there for our money, and it is going to be difficult. But let's get into the 4th transfer window and see who we can bring in. And that is what we done, and we spent very well. £24 million spent. 2 players unfortunately leaving on the free because they would not accept new contracts. But the money we've spent here is sensational. We brought in Bamba Dieng from Olympique Marseille on the free. We brought in Mati Viti from Lyon for 7.25 million. We brought in Satka, do apologise, from Lech for £600,000. And this guy I'm really excited about, Teles Magno, for £16.5 million. Now, the first player then is going to be Dieng. Again, a centre forward option. Obviously, that leaves us with sort of 4 players now that are comfortable in that position. And this guy's got a bit about him. 24 years old. Obviously, this guy was on the free as well. Fantastic, quite a quick striker, good finishing. So pretty much on the free, you're not going to complain. I'm not going to complain of getting this guy on the free. He might not get into the first team every single game, but to be honest, with them attributes, I think he's got as good a shot as anyone else. And moving over to what is going to be Mata Vitti, hitting the criteria, what I said, we need to have a centre-back that has got a bit of potential, that has got a bit of room to grow, and is young. And this guy, tick, 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 3 ticks. 22 years old, fantastic attributes right off the rip as well. Not perfect, obviously, tackling could be slightly higher, but I am impressed with what you're getting for your money here, and I know that this guy is going to grow, and definitely, probably will start right off the rip as well. So to be honest, a signing like this for me, in my opinion, is exactly what we needed. Going over to, it's going to be another centre-half, is going to be Saka, and this guy, again, a little bit older, a bit more experienced, slightly smaller as well, but with this guy as well, you're getting similar pace in the size, good tackling on him as well, and obviously you are paying for a bit of experience. Obviously, this guy didn't cost us a lot, under £1 million, so you are going to get a decent defender, not obviously world class, but we could easily see this guy and also Vitti get into that starting 11. And then this guy, sorry again, this is going to be Thales Magno, a player who I got scouted. I'm not going to sit here and say I know who he is, because I don't. But this guy looks absolutely sensational. He can play across the front three flawlessly. Decent finishing, considering a lot of the time he probably will be on the wing. Reasonably quick, great natural fitness, great bit of flair on him. Also great technique. 22 years old, fantastic potential on him, nearly getting to a 5-star potential. So as long as we develop this guy correctly, we could have honestly a world beater on our hands here. And going into what the team is going to look like. So a few changes. We're going to see Luis Jr. maintain that goalkeeper position. Cannon, Saka, Vitti, 2 new centre-backs, 2 new starts. Ristic coming in at left-back. Perez, Makota, Gorby. This midfield is pretty much stuck all the way through. Mangas, Teles Magno, and Penaranda up front. And again, this is what I mean. Even on the bench now, it fills me with so much more confidence because we have got a better bench. And this is exactly what you need in this, because there's so many competitions you play in the Portuguese league. So you do need to have a very, very good squad in order to cope with everything that is thrown at you. So let's get into the 4th season and see how we do. And this time around, guys, it is looking a little bit better in terms of the team stats. We're going to go over what we've won again. So we have managed to win the title again, clinching it with 80 points, so a 2-point advantage there. We also did win the Super Tacker. Again, very poor display in the Allianz Cup. I'm not sure why that is. Lost in the 4th round of the Placard, and the first knockout round we struggle. But we have been getting tough sides, Barcelona, Real Madrid, so I'm not too annoyed about that, but I do hope that is something we possibly can even progress in the last season. 76 goals ranking us the best, and 17, almost halving the goals conceded, purely because of great defensive signings. Going into the stats then, we're going to be seeing Ristic coming in with 15 assists. We're going to be seeing 9 assists coming in for Lorenko, Makota with 6, 5 coming in for Saka from centre-half, very impressive, 5 for Gorby, Mangas with 6, 11 coming in for I'm going to say Magno, 12 coming in for Perez from CDM, and 4 coming in from Penaranda. In terms of goals, you're going to be looking at 10 coming in from Dieng, obviously the new man. Penaranda coming in with 21 goals, quite a good stat line there. 4 coming in for Perez. You're going to be seeing 9 goals come in for Magno, 4 from the J, 7 coming in for Mangus, and Gorby coming in with 3. Any high stat lines here? 5 coming in for Saka, Vitti with 6, I imagine from set pieces, 15 coming in for Makota, 8 coming in for Lorenko, and Ristic coming in with 6. So again, very, very good, but there is one thing I'm noticing, and that is I really want to try. I know we've signed a couple of strikers now, but I really do want to get a striker that is going to be scoring sort of 30 plus goals a season. And to do that, we are going to have to spend big, and hopefully that is what we're going to be given the opportunity to do so. And as budgets go, that is the max we've pretty much got. So £13.5 million. Hopefully we can work miracles with this. Got quite a good wage budget there as well, which is very impressive. In fact, I know I can probably convert a lot of that into transfer budget, so we have improved there. I will say this now, I did actually request a wage budget 3 times in a season to be increased. So I imagine a couple of them did get accepted, and obviously we have had some players leave behind the scenes which were taken up, not loads, but a reasonable amount of the budget. And as well, we're winning trophies, guys. They should be funding us. They should be backing us a lot more than what we're seeing at the moment. But going into what was the last transfer window, going to be season 5 of the transfers, that is going to be one hell of a window again. Unfortunately, we do lose Ristich this time. I'm happy at the club. I don't know why. He's been playing well. We've been winning stuff, but wants to move to Monaco, and I had to do it. Otherwise, he was going to leave anyway. It was pre-agreed. We do actually end up spending £20.5 million, bringing Vitinha from Braga, obviously one of the hot prospects in the Portuguese league now, for 9.7 million. We bring in Sousa from Sporting for £1 million, and Martinez from RB Bracantio for 9.7 million. Vitinha, we all know who this guy is. Fantastic centre forward. This guy should get into the team, and if there is going to be a player that is going to score me 30 plus goals a season, this is the man. This guy is the man that's going to do it. Great finishing, very quick as well, great bit of fitness, good balance, good work rate, good determination, and only 25 and 4-star ability. So for me, it's an absolute no-brainer. And also, you're taking off another side in this division, weakening their team. Now, Sosa, a player which I didn't actually not pick necessarily, sounds bad. I didn't go out to get him, but I saw him available. He obviously was reasonably cheap. I wanted to bolster the midfield by bringing in another player, even if that is purely depth-wise, and that is what we've done. We brought in this guy here. Reasonably good attributes. I'd say average. Probably like a 3-star ability is very fair. But again, it's a good player to have on the bench who can come on, possibly break up the game. And again, 25 years old, so he's still got a few years to improve. Obviously, he can get a little bit better than what he is at the moment. But for me, it's a very good signing, and again, taking him off a team that's in the division. Then we go over and we bring in another midfield player, purely because we have got to take into account that Perez down here is getting older and he's fallen off a little bit. Gonna say it how it is. We brought in none other than Emilio Martinez, deep line playmaker. Fantastic attributes on him as well. Quite tall for the midfield, 25 years old, and for me, this guy's going to get right into the team. If I'm picking the lineup, he gets in any day. And the team does look very, very good. It's actually going to be lined up a little bit differently when I filter by best 11. You're going to see Junior, Cannon, Statka, VT, Mangus. 2 centre-backs have kept that partnership ever since we've signed him. We're then going to see Gorby just dropping a little bit deeper into that midfield. Martinez at the centre mid attacking role, and Sousa in the Mezzala role, which is interesting to see. We're then going to see Teles Magno coming in on the right hand side, and we're going to see Lorenko coming in on the left hand side with Vitinha up top. So a very, very good team, and the bench again looks absolutely sensational now. If you guys want to take a look down the bench, I feel like this squad has come on 10 to the dozen. It's come on a lot better than what the team is currently at. So a very, very good team, and I'm hoping that we can go into this last season, and I pray do a little bit better in the European competitions. So the last season, and it's not a great way to end it. This just proves, everything good has to come to an end. We can't maintain the title. It possibly could be a sign of we brought in a few players. They need time to gel. One thing I will say is we did do better in the Champions League. We actually got to the quarters this time against Real Madrid. Unfortunately, getting knocked out there. Runners up in the placard. We do in the Super Taka and also the Allianz Cup. But again, disappointment. 5th place is absolutely abysmal. I don't know what caused it. I mean, you got Vitinha down here coming in with 48 goals as well. So the goals were clearly not the issue, which I thought they were. Well, I know they weren't the issue. We were winning stuff, but I thought, you can't go wrong with bringing in another forward player. But he had a great season and we somehow done worse. 4th best at scoring goals and the 6th best at conceding. So a little bit disappointing in terms of that side of things for sure. In terms of stats, then we're going to have 10 assists coming in for Cannon. Vitinha, what a player. 3 assists, 48 goals, 25 assists and 5 goals for Lorenko. I'm saying Mango again. Magno, 9 assists and 14 goals. 6 assists and 8 goals coming in for Makota. VT coming in with 2 assists and 6 goals. 10 assists and 7 goals coming in for Sosa. We're going to have any other high stat performers. They're pretty average, the rest of them. But we've done very well this rebuild, I will say, because this rebuild is one which was suggested to me probably about 2 weeks ago, and I was just like, do I do it? Do I not do it? Because they might not be the most well-known team, but I always like to listen to suggestions, and this just proves that I will happily do any team. And it has been a challenge because even when I won the league consistently, like we won it 3 times on the bounce, the transfer budget wasn't great. And unfortunately, without a little bit of investment, you can't really progress too much in European football because you need the players and you need the quality. But overall, very happy with how this has actually gone. We've brought silverware back to the club. We've definitely left them with a better team than what we've started. As we're going to see here, we would have actually been given 17 million if we were going to carry on. So a little bit gutted we're not carrying on, but finally the board are backing us if we were to carry on with this save. And over 5 years, this is what we've done. We've actually managed to win. So we'll start off from the 2022 season. It's going to be the Allianz Cup winners, the Liga Portugal champions, so obviously the Portuguese league champions, and also the Super Taca, so winning the treble there. 2023 season, again winning the league, and also coming runners up in the Super Taca. 24 season, winning the league again. That's the treble winners back to back to back to back. Runners up in the Taca again, and also winners of the Super Taca in that year as well. 2025 season come upon us, won the league again, and also won the Super Taca. 2026 won the Allianz Cup and come runners up in the Taca to Portugal. Now, very disappointed about European football. That's the only thing I'm going to say. A little bit gutted about that. But overall, I am very happy with how this rebuild has gone. I think we've definitely left them with a better team. As we can see here, this team's actually mustered. I really like this team. Very, very good team. Good ages on the team as well. And a lot of room to grow. But this is your time to shine now, guys. Comment below what you thought of this rebuild. Give me a rating out of 10. Be honest. Give me a rating out of 10, and also next to it, comment what rebuild you want to see next. But that is going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. I know I had a ton of fun creating it. If you guys are enjoying it, then please do smash the like on this video for the last time. And please do leave a comment as well. And definitely do subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you guys never want to miss an upload when I live stream or when I do a community post, then do turn on notifications. This can be simply done by clicking the little bell next to the subscription button. But that is going to be it for me today, guys. And I will see you in the next one.